It looks similar to mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I have a similar chair, not as big as a monitor though, but that's a TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
like a gaming TV though. It's kind of odd. It's like the one volume
Mhm.
is like pretty loud, and you go to zero and it just cuts off. It's like, oh, there's not like a
Yeah,
nice flow of volume. So
that's crazy.
we kind of have to like split up time when we're recording or doing stuff, and it's just like gaming. She's like, oh no, like he's screaming because he's gaming. And
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, we're trying to record.
yeah.
But yeah, no, Brad just got like Red Dead Redemption,
Oh, okay.
and so it's like it's kind of a full-time job for him. He's been on it a good bit, but
That's fair. I mean, it takes dedication.
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I don't game like I used to, man. I used to game my butt off, honestly, in like middle high school, and then I just haven't been getting around to it so much. I started getting a little bit back into it now that Brad's here. Now he's got this nice setup and all that, but no, it feels good to live in a house with a couple guys, because in Bro Bridge, I was living by myself, kind of like doing the music thing, and I didn't really have too many people to hang out with in Bro Bridge.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be around some guys and kind of have like a little group.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
like like-minded folks, and y'all all love music, so that's the best.
Yeah, and they're always playing some music that's like I've never heard before.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's the best.
You been listening to anything cool lately?
I mean, I've been getting into a lot more pop stuff lately. Like I just last night I was listening to the Phineas album from like 2019 or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the record. I think it's a self-titled album, but that guy is a mastermind.
He's so good. He's so good at the sounds he makes, the choices. I'm like, holy crap.
And like, I was watching a video of I don't remember when. I don't know if it was with Billie Eilish, like his sister or not, but it was something about like when he's producing, he always tries to tuck things underneath the mix that like our ears wouldn't even pick up, but they also kind of do at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't necessarily hear it, but we feel the all-consuming type nature of all of that, and it's just, that's crazy. Yeah. It's just so cool because it makes sense when he says you don't hear it necessarily, but you feel how it can just hug you, you know? So, yeah. But what about you? Anything interesting?
Brad just got me into Foster the People.
Oh, sick.
I've always heard Pumped Up Kicks, but like listening to the rest of their stuff was just like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
And they don't even tour anymore, which is sad. I'm like, what? I just kind of started listeling to all their other stuff. Are they still a band? I don't think so. I think they're like kind of split up or not. At least they're just not touring because like family stuff, like
gotcha,
kids and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all established now, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which is crazy, but dude, I love that hat.
Thanks.
I like the colors on it. And I just saw you posted about all these hats you were coming out with.
Yeah, I have them in the car.
They looked really good.
Thanks.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know who I was talking to about this, but the only thing I regret about the hats is that I didn't put the hometown on it. I should have. But the argument I made when I was doing the logo was like, I'm based out here. Yeah. Like, I kind of just want to have it be, you know.
I don't think you're going to regret that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, but they're so cool. Like, I have 10 different colors and shit.
Yeah, that's dope.
There's a brown pelican on it, you know.
Reminded me of like Pretty Patties or something. I was like, look at all these colors. It's a great option.
Yeah, it's so cool. I have them in the car. I'll show it to you after.
Dope.
But cool stuff.
One hat lover to another.
Oh, for sure. I think I have like 50 hats or something in the collection.
And such a good like merch idea too if you love hats, because like I don't know if you've seen like Gerald and how he kind of gets, but he gets like hats sent to him and stuff, and like kind of.
Who is this?
Gerald Grunig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the KLFY. He does like accordion work as well. He's played with you, right?
Yeah. I'd play for him, and when I go back home, I get to play with him again.
Oh, sick!
It's cool. So cool. But Gerald's super cool, man, because he's kind of doing the social thing, and he's really built a lot for himself, and he's a great person to kind of like learn after and see how he does it. And I just get that resource, so I feel awesome playing with him.
Yeah.
And he has Lee Allen and Kevin playing in his band. You know Lee Allen and Kevin Menard?
Yeah.
They're from the Buckwheat Band, and so they're just like, Gerald's just built this killer band around him.
Yeah.
And he's got the brand. He's like an ambassador of culture now. I'm like, I'm like, man, this has come a long way really quick.
It's so cool. Like, I know, I didn't realize how much of a following he had on TikTok until one of his videos came up on my For You page. I was like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Actually kind of well. And he's killing it. I think I saw like a viral video or whatever when he was doing the food stuff mainly. But now it's a bunch of stuff. Like, it's fitted hats, it's shoes, it's just this whole thing. I mean, good for him. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So what's been going on? Like, you've been staying busy writing some songs?
Yeah. I've pretty much, so I moved to town 2 years ago, right?
Sure.
And I had nothing going for me. Pretty much all I had to go for me was just my kindness and like just the drive to want to do some cool stuff. And but I mean, as you know, or as you're gonna know, it's really hard to sell a dream or sell yourself to people here until you have like, I don't know, until you just like get your hands dirty and like show them you're sticking around, which you are doing and will do, I'm sure. But I think like when it came to starting to write songs, I had to truly just speed date. I had to be like, okay, this is a new person. Also, they're willing to write with me. We'll just see if it clicks, right? So in these 2 years, I've kind of written with people one time, written with people 10 times, written with people, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 times to see if it still, if it hasn't gelled after the first one, see if we try again. And, but I mean, it's so real to like see how you work with someone. And then if it's good, obviously you stick around. But even more so, I've noticed if I write with someone and we don't necessarily click writing wise, we're probably like good friends, So we'll just like stay friends in the business and help each other out, repost our shit on Instagram. Can I curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, in terms of like getting good songs, I've noticed that the folks I write the best songs with are usually the folks that I gel with on more than just music, which is really good and a really big blessing. But especially this year, I've noticed I've written more songs, but I've been more picky about who I spend my time with writing. Because I don't want to write like, out of maybe if I write 4 times a week, I don't want to have like two duds of the songs, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to have like a better odds ratio of like, if I have 3 or 4 writes this week, let me at least be excited about 2 of them, So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a good, it's a interesting point of like, I mean, obviously the different writers are going to have different kinds of songs that come out, and like also different quality of songs, and like how you want to spend your energy with who. I mean, you're going to get way more return on an investment of time with, people you really click with.
Right, for sure. Definitely.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve. Because when you're starting, like you want to have like this, I guess, this solidness of I play how many times this week, or I write how many times this week, or like kind of the structure, because you have to make it yourself. Whereas when you're in your college or at home, you kind of have it made for you. So it's been a huge learning curve of having the discipline to have this kind of the schedule, right? Like I've noticed now, don't schedule writes on Monday, because if I play all weekend, I'm not going to want to get up for 11 a.m. on a Monday.
Good point.
So and also, just having a balance and, being really intentional with the minutes.
So I'm really curious about this is like, so as a songwriter, like I'm sure you have to be pretty comfortable with your PRO. Like, what is your, how frequently are you really engaging with your PRO? Like, registering your songs, like,
right.
Then you must get into like a certain routine of like the conveyor belt of songs, and like, what does that kind of look like for you?
Well, it's certainly not consistent.
Okay.
It's, It's so crazy. You're the third person to ask me something like that in the last couple of weeks. I should probably get to registering my shit. But I think I have almost 100 songs I've written this year. So, and I haven't registered a single one on NPR.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
oh my goodness.
so I'm with ASCAP, right?
Okay.
And so, it's, quite simple to just go in and register a song. It'll take me like 2 hours probably, or 2 or 3 hours to do the almost 100 I've gotten this year, which is not a big deal, whatever. But it is important in terms of for example, I have a couple of songs of mine that got cut by my friends this year, which is really cool.
Yeah. And
I know it's important to go in, register, so I have a way to get paid if shit happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the relationship between me and ASCAP needs to be more consistent, but on my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, who are you with?
BMI.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've also similarly written songs and not really registered as up to date with my catalog, but like I guess you can kind of see as things happen, like if things are getting released and getting traction. I don't know. I guess you want to be on top of that too, though.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm curious about it because it seems so important. It seems like not too many people talk about it.
Yeah.
But like I'd love to be more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I asked, because like I'm just trying to learn more about it, honestly. But I mean, have you been in? Has there been any writing sessions lately that have kind of stuck out to you?
A couple, but for different reasons. I think it's so. When was it? It was a couple of weeks ago or something, on a Friday. I know it was on a Friday. I had my first write at Curb Publishing, which is on Music Row, obviously. Cool. But through all kinds of shit, like I had a round one night at Live Oak, and the VP of Curb was out there with her family, and it's like people say now, people don't go out to rounds anymore, like publishers or stuff, but that's not true. Like all kinds of creative directors and A&Rs and publishers go out to writes all the time. I mean, to rounds, and just to hang or chill. And because if they want new sounds, they go and try and find it. It's not always on TikTok anymore, but anyway, the write at Curb was really fun. I wrote with Daniel Etheridge. Shout out to that guy. He's fucking amazing. And we just shot the shit and talked about all kinds of stuff and wrote a song called Dead End, which is cool. So that was fun. And it kind of stamped in time, I think I'm on the right track if I'm able to be here with the kind of caliber writer he is, caliber place of Curb, right? Like I must be on the right track somewhere. And then of course, like, even so, the writes that I have with my friend Paige McKenzie are always a fucking banger. Like, Kellyanne Williams, Matt England, Zach Davis, like all of these really solid folks, Collins Horton, Garrett Schultz. I always write great stuff with these folks. And there's just something about, the community we've built of like, come as you are, it doesn't matter. It's just, I've been lucky to find good folks like that. So whenever I write with them, there's just almost a guaranteed chance I'll like what we get. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's sure. Awesome. So how'd you meet these people that you're writing with?
It's a huge domino effect, obviously, but I have to mention that before I moved to town, it was, I don't know, circa 2018, 2019, right before COVID and all that shit. And, of course, before American Idol. When, you might remember it, when there was, like, a big songwriter festival in Lafayette.
Right.
The Solo Fest, right? And both of those years are pivotal in different ways. But the second year, I met this guy named Alex Smith, and he's a great writer in town. He's been here a while. But he's from, is it Alexandria or something? He's from
like that.
Yeah, he's from, I think, that direction, a little bit north of us, but he's a killer guy and killer writer. And I met him there, and I took a trip down to Nashville after the 2019 solo and met up with him. We wrote whatever. And during one of the writes, he showed me a song that he and Paige wrote, my friend Paige. And at that time, it was of what was going on in my life. It was a song that completely was so pivotal and so specific to what I was going through. And so I was like, shit, can I have that? So he sent me the demo and I listened to it for a while. Fast forward a few months, I'm working a show at Live Oak on Demumbrian, and my friend Chase is the headliner for this show, but one of the openers is Paige, and she sang that song
no way.
on stage, and I was like, this shit is so sick. And so after she was finished, I was like, I'm gonna just go say hi, tell her I've written with Alex. He played me the demo of that song before when y'all wrote it, and it's just fucking killer. So anyway, I did do that. I went up to her, I told her, I said, hey, my name is Emily. We write with Alex Smith. And he showed me Blind, the song, before anyone ever heard it. And I was like, and she was like, oh dude, that's fucking awesome. So ever since then, we've been like thick as thieves.
Oh, that's cool.
And through her, I've met Zach Davis. Through him, I met Garrett. So it was just a big domino effect of how these folks came into my life. And I don't know. It's just, you'll notice like when you do shit, you'll meet people and then you don't know how just being associated, how that can propel you elsewhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm lucky to have just been in the right place at the right time to meet Paige and then meet Garrett and then meet Zach and all that. You know, but it's
amazing.
I love those motherfuckers. They're so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. When your paths just cross like that, that's just so cool.
Yeah.
By chance.
Yeah, by chance. And it's just like the universe was supposed to kind of throw you at them. Yeah. You know?
So moving here, and you kind of talked about like working at Live Oak, or I know you've done some tour managing and stuff. How have you kind of diversified like your skills to kind of, make those connections and make things happen?
Right. So the tour manager thing just came out of the blue. When I moved to town, I had to have an internship for my last few credits at college. And so I interned under Ross Dupre, and he's from Opelousas as well. And I got connected with him because his mom heard my first album that I put out in 2020. And of course, finding an internship after COVID was straight dog shit. And so I kind of let go of the idea of like I'd be an intern at a label or a publishing house or something. Sure. Because mom and dad wanted that so bad. They were like, this is your way to get in. Like, you have to do this. And I'm like, this is not likely. So... But anyway, Ross's mom heard my record and was like, this is actually kind of good. Can you, let's get you and Ross together. So it just so turned out I could intern under him.
That's cool.
During my time when I first moved here, and that helped me graduate college. But his main artist that he manages is Sean McConnell.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And me and Sean didn't get super close during the internship. I just helped with merch and would go to a few shows and help him if he needed anything, but it never really got to a good point, like a good close point, until Ross had some loss in his family, and so he decided, Sean has this August run in Texas and Alabama and Georgia and Nashville. Do you want a tour manager for this? I was like, I've never done it, but fuck it, yeah, sure. So I told myself this probably isn't that hard. I'm also an artist, so if I were in this position, what would I need from someone on the outside to help me? So I kind of had that hat on. I just, so the tour managing thing, even though I'd never done it, turned out I could actually be really good at it.
Sure.
And meeting those guys and, a lot of Sean's band and Bowen Young, the people who opened for him, was just invaluable. Yeah. Like, it was just, I swear to God, I've never learned so much in 11 days.
That's awesome.
So I learned so much about touring contracts, day of show language between me in a front of house or me and a venue owner or venue manager. And it was just so much information that even I as an artist didn't know until then. So I guess being well-rounded or like diverse in terms of the tools I can have in this town is just saying fuck it and doing it.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't know, like there's people you can ask or I guess things you can YouTube or Google to be like, you know, how can I approach this in a way that it's one, professional, two, with the most open mind, and three, with just the most driven, hardworking attitude. So it's I don't know, just diving in and hoping for the best. And if you crash and burn, hell, you learned a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it seems like a great lesson. I mean, I learned a lot trying to tour manage for Justin Chopin.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And it does give you good perspective on like the artist side and like what we actually need and like what bases we need to cover and stuff to be independent. Stuff like that is a great lesson. What would have been like, there been any other little opportunities? What was like working the Live Oak thing? Like, what was that kind of like?
So the Live Oak thing was kind of a one-off because the company I was working for at the time is Affinity Entertainment. And I worked with them for, I guess, 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 months. I was director of operations for a while and did some marketing help and some booking for them as well, because they do a lot of booking around town. But there was a show they booked for an artist that's good friends with the owner, and his name is Chase McDaniel, but the owner's name is Matthew Romero. A shout out to that guy. He's fucking amazing. And we were working the event because we were presenting the show. So, but it was at Live Oak, so it wasn't ticketed. Live Oak doesn't allow ticketed shows. So it was just RSVP, and there's a bunch of labels coming out to see Chase as well. So really only my job was to make sure that everyone who was on VIP got their bracelets, and everyone a part of Chase's family was, you know, in solid view and could have a good time. And then also, I was also playing the show because after he headlined, there was a writer's round and they had put me on it, so that's always fun too. But yeah, Affinity holds probably most of the credit to how I was able to advance or learn a lot when I first moved to town, because I wasn't playing any shows. That was my first kind of job, was working for them. So it was, you know, a bunch of information I wouldn't have learned elsewhere working for them too. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dang. What was speaking of your live shows and stuff, like, I mean, when we came to see you at Tin Roof, man, you sounded incredible.
Oh, thank you.
But what was what's kind of been the live scene environment for you like lately? You've been playing on Broadway a lot.
Yeah. I think just in the last couple of gigs, like this week, I've hit a block of like, I'm kind of tired of playing covers.
I hear you.
Because when did I start really like going hard at the cover shows? It had to be a year ago or a little over a year ago. I started playing cover shows again after being off for a while. You know, finishing college, I stopped playing as much. When I moved to town, I didn't have any really opportunity. But in terms of the live scene out here, it's the hotel live scene is different because people are a little more engaged, a little more vibey, you know. But on Broadway, it's a little more of a manage the drunk level of the crowd.
Sure.
And manage what time it is. Are people drinking right now? Are they not drinking? And if they are, how can I make them drink more? Which is kind of a strange mindset to have.
Yeah, sure, but entertainer.
Yeah, entertainer. And because I guess it's fair to say when people drink more, they have a good time, or they have more of a good time, or a more carefree time. So I've been working on that, but I think right now I have maybe 3 or 4 shows a week, which is great. But depending on where I am and depending on the energy level, it can kill me mentally and can also, I don't know, help me like have this weird confidence about what I'm doing. It just depends.
Sure.
Um,
So that being said, like
mhm.
what do you kind of see as like the next chapter in your career, like your new focuses right now, just kind of like short term?
Yeah, short term, like probably like 3-4 month goal right now
Mhm.
is I have 3 songs I want to release at the top of next year. So we're
Mm.
looking at maybe late January release or
Mhm.
something, which is cool. Um, and then maybe March-ish, I'll have more songs to put out. But I'm just kind of in an artist mindset right now because
Mm.
I have the songs. I'm still going to keep writing, but I have songs that maybe it's time I put these out, like show folks that I'm actually doing something and pushing the artist side a bit more than just the writer side. Because I think, like I said earlier, I think I'm almost at 100 songs this year.
Mhm.
And a couple of those are being recorded by my friends. So I've had for a while just wanted to be a writer and, help my friends boost their career, which is still my mindset. But
Yeah.
I love performing too much to kind of
Mm.
be,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
outside.
Right.
So I'm trying to find songs that I want to put out, want to play live. And at some point, maybe hitch a ride with someone opening for a friend of mine or something. Because I have a few friends that are at the point where they're touring and could need an opener. So
Sure.
if I just want to have the tools and songs and catalog to be ready for that if they need it. And also the chops too, like playing on Broadway, and playing at hotels for 3 or 4 days a week, like it is for money, but it's also to just get better
Mm.
because I've
Yeah.
noticed since I've started, like my falsetto is better, my stage
Mhm.
presence a little better. So I'm
Sure.
using Broadway more as like, yes, I'm making money, but I'm also using it as a tool to focus on the weaknesses I have.
Some paid practice.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah. And just expanding like my music taste as well has been a help as well.
That's dope.
So yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, I noticed whenever I joined the Zydeco bands, basically very, very few rehearsals. It was just playing the gigs to rehearse for the bigger gigs.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, for sure.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, like my kind of, dream, I guess, is to really like, once I did the dockside internship, I
Mhm.
got that bug. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to meet songwriters and hopefully get into the studio
Mhm.
and really like be a part of the creation process. And like, that'll be my kind of like out of the spotlight, bug. And
Right,
then
right.
also still wanting to perform because I'm always going to love to perform too.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd love to juggle those things one day. But like,
Yeah.
as someone trying to meet songwriters,
Mhm.
I've already been to the listening room
Mhm.
and to backstage, and those have been incredible venues, but they've been pretty sizable, kind of expensive cover, which is
Sure.
all right. And I'm okay with cover, but it's
Mhm.
just where are some of the places, maybe the hidden gems to meet songwriters, the places that you like the most?
Yeah. That's a good question. Uh of course Midtown is
Mm.
a huge spot, like for example, like on a Sunday, right? They have Ray's Rowdy at Live Oak,
Mm.
which is some of the best rising writers in
Mm.
town. Will always play that round. And like Shelby Ray, for example, is fucking incredible.
Mm.
But I know for sure because Live Oak is on DeMunbury and you just walk straight down Division and Red Door is there, losers, winners.
Mm.
A lot of great bars, and I know for sure Red Door is packed on a Sunday
Mm.
because of Ray's Rowdy.
Mm.
And at one point before Whiskey Jam moved, right, Red Door would have also been packed on a Monday night or on a Thursday night, and it probably still is, to be fair. But those are the spots for sure. Like there's a bunch of writers who always go out there, and I have my own favorite spots. Like I enjoyed 5 Points area, like the east side a
Mm.
lot. But for sure, like folks to meet, folks to just knock elbows with a drink at a bar, like Red Door is a great spot. Red Door
Yeah.
East, Red Door Midtown. Losers and winners obviously is always a great vibe.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd say those spots for sure.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, I know when you guys moved, I saw you, John, and Bradley y'all came to Tin Roof the other week,
Mhm.
and that was just really awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean it too. Like whenever whenever we can all get together, or if it's just you and me or me and Brad, like we just go hang out one night, go out, and I'll meet, introduce you guys to my friends. And
that'd be so great. I mean, it's nice. I just hung out with Joe Bryson the other day too. We ran into each other at Rippies and stuff, and it's nice. It's nice to know some people out here. It feels good to kind of have some community out here. But we'll definitely have to go hang
for sure.
Some of these around.
There's a lot of us out here. Like Gabe's out here. Yeah. Joe's out here. Do you know Sailor Brasso? Yeah. She's out here. And Johnny Cochran's out here.
That's right.
He's a little older than us, but whatever. He's still a fucking killer dude. And I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting. Fuck. But there's a few, there's a solid group of us that we're all from the same place, made it out here, and are just doing our thing. Like that's so cool. To think about, Yeah. But we'll have to all get together for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some more out here.
Yeah. Who else are you trying to get out here?
Oh man, I'd love to see Gino and Zach Edwards out here.
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll have a place to stay if they ever feel like coming through. But,
for sure.
I just know that they have got such a nice product, such a nice art that like I just want more people to hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
for sure.
I just want them to reap the benefits that they could maybe get over here.
Yeah. I mean, they totally could. Like, Gino especially is just, that guy has a pocket unlike any other. Yeah. And Dustin Gaspard has it as well. So does Sarah Russo. Yeah. And they've been out here a few times. There was one trip me, Dustin, and Sarah did. I don't remember when. It was before I moved here, but we came out here and it was just so fun. Like Lance Dubrock is out here sometimes, and but it's just, I've noticed too that when people move here from out of town and they've already had that sound that they have, right? Mm-hmm. It's really easy to lose it out here. Yeah, because the sound and the atmosphere is so saturated with just the thing or whatever the fucking
was it the pop country?
Just the more like maybe not R&B sound, but more like hip hop country kind of pop sound. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but if that's not what you do well, it's so easy to conform to that, and maybe like for a while at least you could lose what makes you magical for a while. I thought I was doing that when I moved to town, or when I started writing and playing shows and stuff. I was like, shit, I sound like every Joe Blow on the street right now. So
dang. Has that been scary for you?
Yeah, it's been a little terrifying, like, because I don't want to lose what got me here in the first place. Yeah. But when I had to kind of let go of that mindset too, because whatever it is that I'm listening to make me play or like write like I do, like there's nothing wrong with that, because it's just going to continue to steamroll and snowball into something else, which is probably at some point will be like the true sound that I have, like you'll notice that too, like all of our influences and stuff, like John Mayer, Stevie Ray, or like Carole King, Bonnie Raitt, all these people that we've listened to our whole lives, like that will translate regardless of what we're listening to now. Sure. So I've been just like trying not to have so much fear about, I guess, what I'm doing, and more just be like, this is sick. I'm having fun. Yeah. Do you think it's a little terrifying? You think it could be scary?
Yeah, I'm still a little terrified. I mean, honestly, like, even before I moved here, like, still in the process of finding out my sound and stuff. So I know I could be malleable right now. I could be, and I'm just looking for work. But you don't want to try and cater to the trends of whatever this thing is moving. Yeah. And try and chase that. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm not too worried about it. So I don't know if it's that scary. But
for sure, yeah.
I just know it's a possibility. And even with social media, and like, as soon as you get a following and fans and they start interacting with your art, just being influenced or captured by your own audience, sometimes that can be scary.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't have any I don't really have a following yet, but so I know that's something that could come totally later. Totally, like
definitely.
after I've already had success and just being, it's gonna be a constant battle.
Yeah,
a constant.
Definitely. Well, that's like the beauty of it, right? Like it's just constantly changing.
Yeah.
And you just learn so much through the journey. Like right now, I feel like, I mean, it doesn't matter. At all times you will, but especially now when we have to really fight for what we want.
Yeah.
You know, we just are in a constant state of like being open to what needs to be done.
Yeah.
To get there, or to have the success that we want, or the goals and dreams met that we want. You know, it's just constant learning curve, and the curve's big.
Yeah.
So
I was asking Gabe this yesterday. It was like, how has, working in the music and working over here in Nashville kind of like changed the way and changed your relationship with music?
Good question. It hasn't, for me, I guess, like, I see now how hard it is as a songwriter to get a song cut through the noise. And I see, like, how really just how the industry, or how things that happen in this atmosphere that we're in, like, is all based off of the song. And if the song isn't working, the artist isn't working. And if the artist isn't working, the label isn't working, and the A&R, and like, so I'm realizing the weight of the songs, and also realizing too that the more I play live shows, the more I don't pick up my guitar when I'm at home. And the more I'm writing, well, not the more I'm writing, but maybe the more I go into a room and I don't have new ideas. It's like, okay, the time spent outside of the 11 to 2 right is just as valuable as the 11 to 2 right.
Sure.
Because if I'm not able to put new, fresh, and exciting ideas into that 3-hour time period, or however long, whatever, it's like I'm doing a disservice to my job. So I'm trying to pinpoint in this career what is quality time I can put into the other 20 hours or so. Like, am I going to sleep tonight? No, because I'm probably going to stay up playing video games or stay up just chatting with friends on the phone, or just staying home. And I don't necessarily think that staying home for the majority of my time away from my work is going to help me boost my work.
Sure.
So I've been traveling a lot, which is good, and just trying to use the rest of the life that I live and use whatever goodness or stress or negativity or whatever, use that to enhance the music.
Yeah. I can see there being like, you kind of need to balance the burnout. You need to balance, like, if you're using up all of your creative juice, you need to go out into the world and absorb more source material.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, and you said like video games, but are there some other ways that you kind of like remedy your burnout,
Traveling, for sure. Like,
where you been traveling?
Well, last month, what's today? We're still in October? Okay. Yeah. I feel like we're in November. I have so much to do in November.
Almost.
Yeah. But this last month I went to Arizona for a couple of days, which was really fun. Of course, go back to Louisiana. Of course, in August I did the tour with Sean and them.
Nice.
I went to North Carolina in May. Like, it's kind of spread, right? But of course, the money, I can't go everywhere.
Yeah, sure,
the money I make, but
sure.
And next month there's a lot of stuff too. Like, I'm going to Chicago for a few days.
Oh, nice.
Going back to Arizona for a few days.
Nice. That's all pleasure for work?
Well, yeah, it's all like sneaky stuff. But
some sneaky stuff.
Yeah. And I'm going to Denver tomorrow, so that's really cool. But it's for work tomorrow. I have a show on Saturday, so with a few friends, with Paige and Garrett. So,
cool.
But it's just been, I just knowing, like, before I started traveling a lot, like, all the songs weren't stale per se, but I noticed the trend of, like, oh, this is only about this, or this is only about this. And I was just kind of tired of writing, like, sad heartbreak shit. So just needed to have a new perspective, new lease on life. And like you said, grab the source material. Yeah. And just make things a little more well-rounded, wider file cabinet in the brain, you know? Yeah. But it's cool. It's definitely cool. I know a lot of like what your next steps are, like trying to get work and trying to like meet songwriters and stuff. But what's like your goal for this year? Like, I guess the rest of this year. Like, what do you want to do by the end of this year?
I kind of want to have more of my bases covered as an artist too. I want to have like my website, online presence more solidified. I want to have some songs under my belt. I've got some recordings in my back pocket that I'm going to be trying to plan a release for. Yeah. And hopefully getting on Broadway as either doing acoustic stuff or like if I'm really like hounding some of these venues with my EPK and really just like, you know, just let me please, let me play, please.
Yeah, give me a chance. Yeah.
You know, so, I really want to get in the studio this year. I hope I can do that. Yeah. If not, that's okay. I mean, I'm gonna be trying to network as hard as possible and trying to. I mean, by the end of the year, I hope I have learned plenty more songs. Yeah. You know,
definitely.
I think my daily routine is just kind of like if I can just focus like on chipping away every day at a certain couple of things that like I hope it's just gonna stack up by the end of the year. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I have faith. I'm a little scared. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to write songs too. Yeah. I mean, seeing these originals get released, that's also gonna be pretty important to me.
Yeah. What would you say your genre is? That's such an unfair question. I'm sorry to ask you.
And like, I think my genre is ultimately like rock trio, you know, but at the same time, it's at Dockside, I cut these two kind of like dance songs, like house, you know, alternative songs. Yeah. And I kind of want to see that out. I want to see that through. It's kind of scaring me to come up to this release because it's like, I feel like when I release what I've got, it's going to kind of, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. And it's like, I think it's already it's going to divert people's expectations. People are probably expecting more of like a bluesy kind of release. And this is going to maybe be more like punk, like super extreme, heavy stuff. And then I also have all these other brain children, like all this dance stuff and all this electronic sounding stuff. So I'm a little nervous right now. Just like, I wish I had a more cohesive collection of art. Sure. And right now it's so not cohesive that it's like, there's so many different directions. It's the anxiety of too many choices, you know? It's like, it's a good problem, but it's also like, it's not how the typical music industry structures marketing or especially as a new artist. Yeah. So it's a little scary.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Like, because I guess what you want to present, you want to be like, this is so true to me. Right. Right. And maybe it is like the dance stuff or the rock stuff or the electronic sounding stuff. Like that is true to you. So it's totally fine if it's kind of zigzaggy in terms of, you know, like different parts of your music taste and what you want to express. It's so fine that it's this and that and this and that, you know? Yeah. Like, but I think too, even just the willingness to show that as you have is like, that's fire. Yeah. You know, like I know personally I relate so much to that because lately I've been wanting to show more of my blues side. Yeah. But that's fucking hard because everything I've done up to this point pretty much has been so singer-songwriter, country, pop type shit. But just nothing is wrong with that. Yeah. But it's hard to be like, I actually want to, you know,
Yeah.
actually would rather do this instead of this right now. And how is that going to make people think of me as an artist or songwriter? But I think the willingness to want to be diverse like that is awesome. So don't let it scare you so much that it's like, that it stops you or that it makes you truly fearful of that. Like, just embrace that kind of unknown, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is a lot of, self-judgment, like a lot of like projecting fear and just like, what are people going to think? And I know that's not the healthiest attitude to have with music, especially music that I relate and I identify with all this music that I made so much. Like all of it, I really think is very true to me. And so I want to see all of those things come out, and kind of regardless of if it's the traditional marketing route or maybe the smartest move or whatever. Right. I want to see these things listened to. Yeah. And I want people to hear them. So I'm excited about it, kind of one way or the other. Yeah. Whether it's a hit or not, I'm just excited. I'm genuinely excited for people to hear this stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I am excited for this year.
Yeah, as long as you have like that excitement, you're on the right track. Yeah. Like I have a friend of mine who put out a song this year that he absolutely hates, but he paid for it. So I was like, oh, whatever, I'll put it out. Yeah. Like, don't do that.
Oh man.
Because then you start. That's the thing of like injecting a little bit of some toxicity into the music atmosphere. Yeah. Because this is what we love, but it's also our job. Yeah. Like it can't be infected with.
That's true.
It can't be infected with, oh, I paid for this. Like, I guess I have to release it.
That's true. And I was talking to Gabe kind of about like amplifying the truth. And it's like if you don't even resonate with your own art and like you don't even feel that that's really reality or your truth or something, it's like, you're kind of putting out a vibration that you don't even agree with. Like you're injecting, untruths into the world. So it's just weird. It's like that could be very strange.
Yeah. And like also just painting yourself as this. When that's really not it. Yeah. And then people think that you're this and then no, you're not.
I think that's what I'm really scared of, is like painting myself as something and people immediately thinking that or just like people creating expectations and just like I just want to release it all and be like, I hope you don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's how you push it. You're like, this is everything I love. Yeah. And whatever. Yeah. Do with it what you will. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Thanks for having me. This has been so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Your setup is so sick.
Yeah. So, some webcams. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks so much. Yeah, this is I'm super excited about this pod because like I said, it's another opportunity to amplify truth. And I really want to have people on who are honest with themselves and like have good, conversation. Yeah. And just I think it's gonna. I mean, the internet hasn't been around that long,
right?
So I feel like it's just useful for everybody. Yeah, it's just everyone is going to get a better sense of how just the human experience, and we're all going to relate to that. And, I think it's gonna do more connecting than dividing. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a good motive to have
for sure.
So.
Thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before?
Keep rocking. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like this.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
Yeah, yeah. Like this industry is so fucked. Like not in an all the way bad way, but it's so liberating. Yeah. And it's very like there's so many voices that say you have to have everyone help you do this or you have to have a label to help you do this. Like I've been on a train so bad lately about just keeping my shit to myself, like being independent and being all in with what you're doing. And if I could tell anyone anything, like just don't believe anyone that tells you that like they have the tools to help you, because maybe they do, but what you can do for yourself is so much more valuable than that. So like, just, I don't know, trust yourself. Just be all of you, and like just trust that. And you'll eventually find like your right way, your right path, or whatever. So I don't know. What the fuck?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ortego, thank you for coming.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.